Hello people, I am JABY KOAY, and joining me is ACHARA KIRK.
Hi!
It's been a while. I was sick, I had got the flu, and now I'm mostly better. Better enough that I won't get ACHARA sick. So, we're gonna review Trapped. We watched it last night at the Indian Film Festival. So-Yun, the social media manager for the Indian Film Festival, kindly invited us to, go and watch the films there. Trapped, for those of you who don't know, is a film that was produced by Anurag Kashyap. It is about a man who gets stuck in an empty high-rise without food, water, or electricity. If you see the commercial for it, it's a pretty straightforward plot. There's not much in the way of plot twists, things that can happen that can surprise you. It's mostly about this adventure of endurance and survival. And so there's really not much to give away, but what we can talk about is like how the film made us feel.
God. It was definitely very gripping and thrilling. Rajkummar Rao did an awesome job on this film because he was basically carrying the whole thing himself. And I thought his acting was super realistic, very subtle. There were moments when I really felt like I was there, and I can be a bit vocal in the cinema, you know this, and there's me going, no, come on, get it. Sometimes the only way I can get through the movie is to talk to the screen.
I agree with what you're saying, though. I think that his performance was pretty incredible. It's a lot of work to carry an entire film on your back, to be the only character, really, to be the only actor in the film that the audience is watching. There's no one for you to play off of.
Yeah.
Kudos to that guy, man. I mean, what was his name again? Rajkummar
Rao.
He's a very good actor. And the thing is, in this kind of story, it requires you to challenge yourself in ways that are rather questionable, like just things like you wouldn't want to do as a person, but you're forced to if you want to survive. It gets to the point where I think a lot of people would have given up, or think they would have given up, but when you're presented in that situation, there's something that's just driving you.
It's the drive to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much more interesting in a situation like that to watch someone have the desire in their heart to go on. I know you hate when I talk about drama school, but it does remind me of one exercise we did one day. We had to pretend that we were about to die in this icy tundra, and all of us just retreated within ourselves and cried. And then our teacher was like, that's the self-indulgent thing to do. What's more interesting for the audience is to watch you fight until the end, even if you are going to die. That's kind of stuck with me, and definitely that is what they did in this movie, because he tried every possible thing. Like everything he tried, I was like, oh yeah, that was a good idea. Yeah, I would have done that. Okay, you're exhausting all of your options now.
Right.
Now what?
Right.
And that's when it got really exciting.
He's got little triumphs within the movie itself, little arcs that he has to see through. The movie handled it in a very realistic manner. That's one of the things I really appreciated, is all of his attempts, it's like he's pulling together scraps to make these basically hopeless attempts, and you watch it happen, you're like, I guess that's what you got left. I guess you gotta give that a shot. And then when you think something's gonna go a certain direction, it goes the opposite direction. When it happens, it hurts, but it's real. I would say watch the movie in cinemas if you're gonna watch it in theaters, because this is, I was thinking about it, I'm like, if I watched this at home, I probably would have paused it at some point, just because it's like, it's so intense. I probably would have walked away and tried to come back to it, but I think that watching the experience end to end is important, and it's easy to just hit pause if it's on your phone or if it's on the TV. I think you guys should watch this in the cinema to get the whole experience. Even the audience we were with, like, you could feel them getting emotional, especially towards the third act of the film. You could just feel just the intensity of it all. And I won't say exactly why or how, but it's definitely worth watching. It's definitely, it's not everyone's cup of tea. This is not for everybody. Some people can't do these kinds of movies. Like, it pushed my boundaries a little bit. I was just like, I don't like where this is going. But I'm happy that I watched it. It was an incredible experience. Great job by Vikramaditya Motwani. It's hard to tell those kinds of stories.
And make them interesting and gripping to the audience the whole time, I think.
Exactly. I mean, you're dealing with a story that takes place almost entirely inside of an apartment. There are scenes outside of that. There are like flashbacks here and there, but for the most part, you're just inside the apartment. To make that compelling, to break apart every little nook and cranny that you can in this instance, in this situation. Also, there's like little philosophical lessons for you to take home, I think. In terms of the choices, why, like, what brought that character to that moment and like how he went about it.
Yeah.
He could have went about it this way instead of that way.
Yeah.
You know, the philosophy in the end of the movie, you walk away thinking, and it's like it doesn't just leave you the moment you walk out of the theater. It stays with you for a little while.
I thought that even though there's one main character, the supporting characters also really added to the complete story, because it really helped you to see how he got in that situation and why he did the things he did.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't see his relationships with those other characters and you didn't buy them, it wouldn't have been a good story. It would just be like, well, why is he trapped there? Like, what caused him to be there, and what is his impetus to want to get out? And I thought that was really strong. So, like, a really good job on the part of the writers as well.
Several lessons in desperation is what this movie is. Some quick thank yous to some generous folks helping out on patreon.com to keep the KOAY family going. Sanket Shah, Pratik Pai, Shekhar Diruvedula, Nick Hill Singh, and Shadow Eye 14, and Harsha Ganesha K, and last but not least, S. I don't know what S stands for, but S knows who S is. That's what's important. Anyways, thank you guys, all of you, so much for contributing. I'm JABY KOAY. Peace out.